Hi, this is Beth Pittman, and this is my innovative artifact update, my first one for spring semester of 2016. Last semester, I was working on gamifying my American Lit course at the Georgia Cyber Academy and creating a game that my students could play. This was the prototype of that game. The students were going to build their own school, and as they work through the content, would earn different badges and different rewards working in teams. Where am I with this process now? So, what has happened now? Dream big, right? But in reality, so my dream was really big and my plan was really big, but necessarily wasn't necessarily achievable by either myself or my students. So I realized that to create or to redirect my instruction in the middle of the year for my students would be difficult by adding this gamified element along with the production for myself being difficult. Also, my school experienced some changes in the way we use D2L. Previously, each teacher had had their own shell or their own course in D2L that they could manipulate and work with independent of each other. Now the team all works within this same shell of D2L using release conditions to control how your students see content. This was a learning curve for both myself and my fellow team teachers, and I felt like introducing an element that uses the D2L so much and release conditions so much that would be challenging for everyone, along with myself as I was figuring it out. I also thought, with that in mind, that I needed to start smaller and prepare my students to start thinking and learning through gamification. So, the beginning of the semester, I began theming the OHS, having themes each week, and also using some badging elements in the OHS. So, not necessarily using my innovative artifact, but to start introducing the idea of this concept to students and also helping them understand how I want them to learn with this idea of gamification. I also formed what I call my Student Leadership Council. And this has been really insightful in this process of developing something. I realize that I'm working to create something for kids, but I'm not a kid. So I'm making assumption that might be what they like or dislike without really knowing. So my leadership council is about 25 to 30 students. And I have this council meet once a week, and I'm able to talk to them about what they like and dislike. And they're able to share their ideas with me about what this game should look like. Been really able to get a lot of feedback from the students as far as what they would like to see and what they think would be fun, and how they would like to play. The biggest takeaway I've gotten from this experience is that these kids really want the interaction with each other and the idea of competing and the idea of having teams. So, not necessarily that what the game is that they're playing, but they want to interact with each other. Makes sense in my environment and my students, makes sense to me, but wasn't necessarily thinking so much that way when I was developing this. The students also told me they want to see whatever the theme is in the game be something that they connect to, and it has to be throughout the OHS, and also they want to see it throughout our live teaching sessions also, so it's something that everybody can connect to. And the kids and I are still trying to flesh out exactly what that theme should be. We're having another leadership council meeting today, so that is evolving even as we speak. So, where am I going? What am I doing? So, on a smaller scale, I plan on rolling out some of this gamified element so the kids will start to play a game in the next 6 weeks as we prepare for the end of course test, the state test. The game will use the leadership council to drive its participation. I found that that's key in helping these students understand how to work and how to compete together. And that leadership council has been real key in all of this development for me, is how to use the students to teach this or to develop this. We're only going to use OHS progress or the D2L progress, so the students, how they make through the modules, and then information from USA Test Prep, which is our test prepping service. And then the rules are going to be more basic, and we're going to focus on the idea of them interacting with each other and the idea of them competing, which is what the kids have said is the most important. So instead of focusing on what it looks like and the intricacies of rules, rather go back and focus on the idea of giving them an opportunity to interact with each other and to compete with each other. So where am I? It's probably in the same place. I've learned a whole lot about the way kids think about this, and what kids want to do with this, how this would be interesting. So my takeaway definitely is listening to students is really key when you're trying to develop something. I look forward to your feedback, and thanks for listening.